Sebastian Stan has always been a fascinating actor to watch, transforming himself from a solid ensemble player into a leading man who can shoulder a film's emotional weight. For years, he's been quietly building up a resume that showcases his range and depth, and 2025 appears to be the year when all that groundwork finally pays off in the form of an Academy Award. Whether it's through his riveting performance in A Different Man or his bold, controversial turn in The Apprentice, Stan has come into his own as an actor capable of capturing an audience's imagination. Let's take a look at exactly why 2025 seems primed to be the year Sebastian Stan walks up on stage to claim Oscar gold. The first sign that Stan was on an Oscar trajectory arrived with his performance as Edward Lemuel in A Different Man. Released by A24 in 2024, the film allowed Stan to sink his teeth into a deeply psychological role. Edward is a man suffering from neurofibromatosis, who undergoes an experimental procedure to change his appearance, only to discover that a new face doesn't guarantee a new life free of personal demons. It's equal parts pitch-black comedy and existential horror, and Stan navigates that tonal whiplash with astonishing finesse. Critics singled out how he captured Edward's longing, insecurity, and eventual mental unraveling, all without falling into cheap theatrics. He melded vulnerability with moments of sly humor, effectively grounding the film's stranger elements in something authentically human. That vulnerability struck a chord with audiences, too. Watching Edward wrestle with the desire to be accepted, then drift into delusion, turned out to be both deeply moving and uncomfortably relatable. So while the film's premise may sound extreme, Stan's portrayal gave it a soul. By the time the movie hit the festival circuit, talk of an Oscar nomination had already begun. His subsequent Golden Globe win in the musical or comedy category for A Different Man hammered home how strongly the industry had taken notice. And then came The Apprentice, the polarizing biopic about Donald Trump's early years in New York real estate. Directed by Ali Abbasi and co-starring Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn, the film was mired in controversy well before its release. Yet once critics got a glimpse, the performances overshadowed the pre-release storm. In stepping into the shoes of a young Donald Trump, Sebastian Stan took on a challenge loaded with pitfalls. The risk of caricature, the potential for media backlash, and the moral quandary of portraying a living and deeply polarizing public figure. Still, he approached the role with methodical nuance. Rather than deliver an over-the-top impersonation, Stan's Trump in The Apprentice is grounded in ambition, insecurity, and cunning. The big hair and bravado are there, of course, but he also shows subtle glimpses of how an impressionable man with a thirst for approval might come under the sway of Roy Cohn's abrasive and manipulative brand of mentorship. Viewers found themselves both appalled at Trump's methods and fascinated by how seductively they're portrayed on screen. Critics praised Stan for resisting the urge to make his performance a mere lampoon. Instead, he crafted a complicated figure whose sometimes cartoonish public persona masks a deeper emotional void. For voters in the Academy, The Apprentice ticks multiple boxes. A film drenched in real-world political stakes, featuring a transformative lead performance and directed with verve. The Oscars have historically rewarded actors who tackle controversial figures. Think Gary Oldman's Winston Churchill or Rami Malek's Freddie Mercury, portrayals that combined historical weight with showmanship. Stan's turn in The Apprentice lands in similarly provocative territory, and though the subject matter is far more polarizing, it's exactly the kind of risk that can yield the greatest reward during award season. What makes Stan's situation especially promising is how these two breakout performances, A Different Man and The Apprentice, arrived in quick succession, giving him back-to-back waves of critical acclaim. The Academy often sits up and takes notice when an actor demonstrates a range of capabilities within a short time frame. Suddenly, Stan isn't just that guy from Marvel, but a serious actor tackling everything from psychological darkness to real-life political drama. His name's presence on multiple ballots, the Golden Globes, BAFTAs, Critics' Choice, and eventually the Oscars, signaled that he's squarely in the spotlight. Another piece of the puzzle is how Stan has managed his image and career. He's a part of the pop culture mainstream thanks to his long-running role as Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yet he's never allowed that success to define him. Instead, he leveraged Marvel's visibility to explore complex, often dark indie roles that showcase an entirely different skill set. Hollywood loves a narrative. The hard-working actor who paid his dues in franchise fare, then soared artistically in more challenging movies. It's a story that resonates with voters, who appreciate that blend of box office viability and genuine craft. The Academy also pays attention to an actor's off-screen demeanor. Stan has a reputation for being affable, collaborative, and dedicated. Someone who immerses himself in the role, respects his co-stars, and rarely courts scandal. At a time when social media can amplify any perceived misstep, Stan maintains a relatively low-key presence that focuses on his craft. Producers and colleagues speak glowingly of his work ethic, which can influence how members of the Academy perceive and vote for him. After all, the Oscars are as much about politics and reputation as they are about on-screen brilliance. By the 2025 award season, Stan has exactly the right momentum. The press is already narrating his journey as an actor who's paid his dues, learning from smaller supporting roles and ensemble casts, before hitting a creative stride that merges star power with dramatic heft. Whether he's up for Best Actor for The Apprentice, or if the Academy might consider him in any other capacity, the consistent refrain is, he's earned it. That sense of inevitability, a combination of the right roles at the right time in front of the right audience, often determines who claims the golden statuette. Of course, there's never a guarantee in the Oscars race. Surprises happen, and last-minute contenders can swoop in with a stunning performance that steals the show. But Stan's advantage is twofold. First, he's shown remarkable diversity, refusing to be typecast. Second, he's navigated a public image that makes him appealing to fans, cinephiles, and industry veterans alike. That trifecta, critical, commercial, and personal appeal, tends to be a formidable force in winning over awards voters. A victory at the Oscars, while by no means assured, seems not just possible but probable, given the narrative that has taken shape around Stan. He's delivered multiple career-defining roles in short order, each capturing a different facet of his range. The Academy has recognized him with nominations, and the conversation swirling around him is that he's the kind of actor who could be the next big it guy in Hollywood awards culture. In essence, 2025 might mark the moment Sebastian Stan transforms from being an actor everyone likes and respects to one the industry hails as a definitive powerhouse. The reasons are varied. The acclaim for A Different Man, the controversy and complexity of The Apprentice, his ability to stand at the intersection of commercial and art house cinema, and the sense that the Academy is ready to anoint a new star. The sum total is a groundswell of support that's often the secret ingredient for Oscar glory. Should Stan walk away with the Best Actor trophy, it would be a testament to years of strategic role choices, unwavering commitment, and a deft balance between mainstream popularity and indie credibility. It would also signal a new chapter in his career, one where he's not just the Winter Soldier or the man behind various supporting parts, but a leading man on Hollywood's most prestigious stage. Critics, colleagues, and fans already see him as a standout talent. In 2025, the Oscars may well give that recognition the official stamp of golden approval.